Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Your EDM Aspire to Inspire live stream. We have a very special episode for you guys tonight. On the other end, we have a DJ from Russia. You know him from such tracks as Together We Are, his new track Blood Rain out on Revealed Records, and he also just released his first full-length album, Glorious. Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome to Arty. Say what's up, Arty.
What's up, man? How's it going?
We're good. We're good over here, Arty. Everything's good with you?
Everything's fine with me, that's for sure. Feel blessed. Feel blessed to be alive.
Definitely, absolutely, it is always. And fans, remember, if you have any questions for Arty, make sure to tweet them out with the hashtag ATI Live. We always reserve a few minutes at the end of the show to answer and ask fan questions. And without further ado, we are going to talk to Arty about some of the challenges he's endured over his life, and you know, what's brought him to this current point where he is right now at the top of the game. You know, but first and foremost, Arty, you are a classically trained musician. You went to a very prestigious music school for 7 years, and you were kind of one of those case studies. You learned the piano, and you would practice like 7-8 hours a day. You didn't, you know, do things.
Yeah, that was the point at some point, and I think that what brought this hate to being like, you know, stuck at some like exact the same place and playing the same things, and I was like so over it. I was like, well, I can't do it anymore because 7 years is a lot, like, you know, especially for a young kid who's just want to live the kid's life. You know, I was like hanging out on the streets, and I was like, you know, making a friendship and stuff like that. But in my case, it never worked out like that because I've been way too busy with the musical school. But on the other hand, as well, the biggest benefit that I get from it is to train myself and being on point, you know, with the stuff like making the music, because the whole like production experience goes to the point when you have to, like, you know, tweak this stuff here and tweak this stuff here, and it takes so much time. So you actually gaining so much patience from, like, you know, being a musician, because like patience is really kind of like really important part of being a good piano player, because you have to be patient. Like, you have to focus on something like one thing and make sure it's perfect. So I guess like that was really huge benefit for me to like jump from the, you know, from like playing the piano to the point when I can make the music, and it's like being really focused on what I'm doing. It's like being over control, like everything that's happening in my project, and make sure everything is perfect. I mean, nothing can be really perfect, but you get my points.
Of course, yeah. So even though something that for younger you presented it, it's something that you view as, you know, a good experience and something that's helped you later on now as an adult, you know, in your career, right?
Yeah, it definitely helped me a lot in many ways. I mean, you also train your ears with, like, you know, hearing the harmonies and like the right notes and the right key, and it's like a fucked up note somewhere in the harmony is like, it's just like, it's buzzing your ear straight away. It's like when you hear something goes wrong, like with your melody, so you can like tweak it like straight away. But it's just a really good experience overall, and I'm pretty happy that I had this opportunity, even though it was like when I was 14 years old. I was hating it so much. It was like, this is insanely bad. I don't want to do it anymore. And when I finished my musical school, I asked my parents, like, just get rid of the piano. I can't live with it anymore. But that was me when I was way too young to understand how essential that part of my life would be for the future steps in my career.
Dude, there you go. That's excellent right there. Yeah, like you said, you never know where your path is going to lead you in the future. And, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of producers out there who are like, man, I wish I'd learned how to play the piano or whatever when I was a kid, you know, and certainly it pays off, you know, to have that kind of diligence right there.
I would never do it right now. It's taking way too much time, to be honest. So I had enough free time when I was young, so that's perfect. Worked out perfect.
There you go. Now, also, after you finished with music school, you went to college and you actually got a degree in mathematics, which probably I bet no one would have guessed right there. and you always have the passion for music and producing, but you also didn't want to disappoint your parents. Tell me, what was the struggle like when you were in college, and how did you balance out music and, you know, academics?
Well, that part of my life was even more, not like even more annoying, but I went to the university and I started to, you know, learn engineering because that's like that's my profile, uh, the background for my studying. So I was there first, like I would spend so much time in university and like studying the mathematics, but at some point I realized that it's not something I want to do in my life because it doesn't make me excited. It's like the level of understanding was not the problem for me. It's like I could, you know, I could pass the exams, and in the end, I actually got my degree. But it was just boring because I think it's like from the first year when I started to be in university, when I went to university, I started to make music as well, like on a more, you know, serious level. Not like I'm up in the project and just messing around with the sounds. It was a little bit more serious than that. And at some point, I realized that this is actually what I want to do, because this is way more like, this is way more fun. This is way more exciting, and you actually can be creative. You can create something like, you know, great melodies and like new sounds, and like make exciting yourself. And it definitely took over my interest in mathematics at some point.
Okay, very cool, very cool. And your music career definitely picked up. Obviously, one of your earlier breaks there is you went on tour with Armin van Buuren for A State of Trance. Tell me, was that what that was like? And, you know, what was kind of the revelation that you had towards your music career as opposed to college?
Man, that was crazy. That was really amazing time. Really, the time when you actually start to learn the world outside of the box. In my case, that would be like the city where I was living, because before that I would never leave my city. I never seen like any different countries, like any other countries. Not speaking with the people who actually speaks with you in a different language as well. So it's been really interesting for the, you know, for the young kid who's just like literally. I think that the first show when I played with Armin for A State of Trance, it was right before I got my degree. So that was the first time I went to Holland, and you know, that time is like you just get into the festival because you're so excited. You've never been on a festival, you never played it, you never met all of these people who were supporting your music for such a long time, and it's been just an overwhelming experience. You know, I got there, I didn't sleep like for I probably like 50, 60 hours straight, because like all of the flights were so messed up. Like I would get to the hotel, get straight to the venue, and you know, it's like living the life right now when you have a tour manager and he take care about all of the travel and stuff, and you know, other things that you probably don't want to worry about. But by that time, you being like part of it, you actually like I actually jumped into this crazy water with like having zero experience about, you know, how to get to the festival, how everything operates. But it was so amazing because like that's how you actually discover the world, and that's how you get inspired. And I remember I was hanging out in a green room before my set, and I saw Bollock and Fools, and he was like, for me, he's a legend. He's been around for the scene for such a long time, and he has like such amazing tracks. And you know, he's coming to me, he's like, yo, Arty, it's like, my name is Paul. It's like, dude, I know what's your name. It's like, I've been a fucking fan of yours for such a long time. It's like, I'm just surprised that she's like, you know, those guys are so amazing. They come into you and like, just saying hi, saying it's like, dude, you have amazing music, and like, I'm happy to support you. And I was like, this is definitely something right I'm doing, like, you know, with my life, because this is so amazing. It's like, Paul looking forward was like a fucking legend for me. And, you know, seeing him like live and was like coming to me, it was just like above craziness experience. It was just amazing. And the whole experience about like going to these festivals, meeting all of these amazing people, meeting your fans. I mean, by that time, I even didn't realize like I have like, you know, actual fans who's coming there for my music, listen to my music live. And it's like, man, this track is amazing, that track is amazing. Please play live. And I was just, wow, that's so great. And yeah, I think since that, I just decided it's like, I don't want to do anything with my life apart from music.
Dude, that's amazing right there. That's like storybook stuff, you know, like you said, you go out and meet like all your idols and the people who inspired you for so long, and you get the chance to be out there, and like you said, it's so cool that they support you and what you're doing.
Well, yeah, and it's just that's like that's the beauty of like, you know, dance music, because everyone is so supportive. There is a, I mean, there is some competition, but it's nothing that like, there is nothing in the meaning of like the actual competition between the, you know, the DJs and producers. But it's just like such a friendly zone, like where everyone is loving each other, supporting each other, and if they see the talent, they immediately support it. It's like they don't think this guy is gonna take over, whatever. I mean, that's not the point. They just like super supportive, and they give you all of the love that they have, and you know, sharing your music with their fans to make sure it's like it works, you know, vice versa, and it's just really good experience. Really friendly world.
Yeah, outstanding stuff from Arty right there. Again, fans, if you have any questions for Arty, make sure to tweet them out using hashtag ATI Live. We will ask a few questions at the end of the show there. And I guess kind of transitioning there, Arty, obviously you had all these great experiences starting out, but the touring life and everything can take its toll on you. Tell us a little bit about and that's something that's been in the news recently, but kind of tell us a little bit about what happened with you. Like, it's tough to get to and from Russia, and you know, you started to have some health issues. What happened there with you?
Not a health issues. It's just at some point when I was in Russia and I would tour, it's like I would have like North American tour, I would go to Asia after that, like getting back to Russia, getting like play the shows in Europe or like, you know, or UK, and especially in the winter time, because like Russia is such a crazy weather. It's like at winter time, it's getting pretty cold. So it's like when you have all these travels, getting like from one time zone to another time zone, from one climate to another, it's like doing this like just in a few, like, you know, 10, 15 hours. It's like playing the show in Asia, which like, where's the like, I don't know, like 110 degrees in Fahrenheit. It's getting back to Russia, where it's like 20, 25. Living the country like in 2 days, getting somewhere else. It's kind of, it's a struggle, and you definitely want to take care of yourself. You want to make sure it's like you're not getting flu, you're not getting cold, and consuming as much vitamins as you can. So, and by that point when I was traveling, I got like kind of so exhausted of like getting back and forth, and I spoke with my booking agency here in North America, and they were like, you probably want to consider yourself moving to somewhere, you know, close where your biggest area where you're playing. So I decided to move to LA. That was really a good decision, because it's really good weather. I still see my family once in a while. Like I'm in a Skype with my friends pretty much all the time, and just make sure we continue our relationship. And I hear, you know, the Russian speech, like my native language, which is really important, because at some point you get into these situations when it's like, what was the word? What was the word? This is my like native language. Like I'm not supposed to forget it, but yes, it's like you spend so much time like, you know, in a foreign country where it's like everyone is speaking completely different language. It's kind of struggle as well, but you get into the point when you kind of educate yourself, like isolate yourself from the people that you usually would speak with in Russia, and it's just like starting to embrace, and it's like getting all of this like English influence and becoming kind of different person. It's like your mentality is changing a little bit, your food preference is changing a little bit, except the part of mom foods, but which is non-discussable, like non-debatable, because mom's food is the best thing in the world. But like overall, it's just like it's such a crazy experience, especially when you move in, you know, you're moving on your own. It's like you have no, like, you basically have no friends here. You have to make the friends. You have no family here, and there is no way to make family because you have only one family pretty much. But embrace yourself, enjoy amazing weather. Flights are way easier, traveling is way easier, and it just gets to the point when everything is kind of settled and get to the place, like get to the right places. So now, like I have this apartment for like, I don't know, like half a year, and I moved myself to downtown in LA, and I feel like this is the place when I'm getting here, I feel myself like home. And this is so important. It's like not like the actual home, but the second home. This is the feeling that every DJ has to have. Like they have this place where they can get back and feel themselves relaxed, like get rid of all of the stress that they accumulate during the tour, of like travels, like making the shows, playing the shows, like meeting with the fans, because like all of this experience when you go to the tour is like really overwhelming, and you don't realize it till the moment when you get them back, and it's like, wow, that was so amazing. But like it takes so much energy. It's like it drains the energy from you, so you have to like find this place and like find this time when you can actually rest and like focus on the music and focus on yourself as well.
There you go. Outstanding. And it is definitely key to find like the work-life balance. But now let's go on to the music. As I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, Arty, you just released your debut album, Glorious. Took you about 1.5 years to create the album. Tell us a little bit about it, the creative freedom you had, what's the message of it? Go for it.
Well, it takes a little bit more than 1.5 years. I think it took 2 years. But that was such an amazing thing to do, because you know the people were asking me like, so when are you gonna drop the album? When is it gonna be like the first debut album? But I was quite sure I'm not ready for it. And like in the beginning, when people started to ask me, I didn't know what kind of music I want to share with my album, because the last thing that I would do is just like to make you know, the album full of just the dance records that I would play in my live shows, which doesn't make sense because that's not the message that you want to send to your fans. And yeah, I just like went to this creative point when we would get with the songwriters in the studio and trying to figure out what's happening in our life. And you know, it's like some of the moments that we regret, some of the moments that we're happy about, you know, sharing all this kind of cool stuff. And when you finding this connection with the songwriter and you're coming up with you know, really good lyrics, really like touchy lyrics, the lyrics that can people find can people feel being like related to. So I think that was like the main point of releasing the album. It's just, you know, having this 2 years of creative process, really exhausting process as well, because it's not just like enjoyable thing to do, but also there's a lot of, you know, hard work behind it, because album, it's something bigger than just a single releasing on a, you know, on the different labels. And I think the whole message of the album is just like, you know, my life through this 2 years while I've been working on this record. It's like experience that I had, because I had so many changes in my life as well, like on a personal level and my career level as well. And it was just going through like different stages, and I just wanted to share with the people who've been personal, been, you know, open. It's like, you know, I can be vulnerable, I can be tired, I can be exhausted, but I can be happy at the same time, and I can be like really excited about something. So yeah, I think I got it. I think I'm pretty happy with the album. I'm pretty happy like with the final results, I would say.
Excellent. Outstanding. I mean, that's the goal right there, you know, like to get that gratification as an artist, and hopefully, you know, the fans receive it in the same way and, you know, really get that message, and it means a lot to them, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure.
But anyways, we're going to open it up to the fan questions at this time of the broadcast. Again, for any people out there watching, if you have any questions for Arty, tweet them out with the hashtag ATI Live. We are getting to those fan questions right now. Let's see. Here we go. Arty, when did you start DJing, and who or what were your early passions and influences?
Well, that's pretty common question that I answered like so many times, and I'm still happy to answer it because that was like my whole background. Answering the first question, I started to DJ in this really fucked up place, man. I'm sorry about swearing, but that was so bad.
It's okay.
It was like some sort of you know, it was like cafe. It was like when people go and hanging out like in the nighttime, having a bunch of the drinks before they go into the nightclub, and I would DJ there, and that would be so horrible because like nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about the music that you're playing, but also you have to be on a point. And that's like actually really, it's a really good experience about it's like putting yourself in such a enemy environment when you're trying to do your best to have like, for the people who don't, like literally don't care about the music or you, make sure they have a good time. So on the one hand, that's pretty bad experience, and you don't want to even like think about it, how bad was it. On the other hand, it's actually a pretty good experience as well, because it helps you to grow as a DJ. I mean, at least learn the technique, like, you know, how to mix the records, which is pretty amazing. But speaking about like my influences, it's always been, you know, it's always been Axel, Eric Fritz, Dead Mouse from was like one of his tracks that he made a remix for Finnish Symphony hybrid, like back in 2007, I believe. And when I heard this track in Armin van Buuren radio show, State of Trance, it was like one of the first tracks. And you know what happened? Like you listen to the radio show, and it's like you're scrolling down the bunch of the tracks, and it's like, wait, there is something special about this track. And I get it back to like listen to the radio show next day, and oh my god, man, this track inspired me so much. I was like just blown away, and that moment I realized like I want to do something like that. I definitely want to try and like make sure I can create something as beautiful as that. Maybe like not that beautiful, not inspiring for myself, but like inspiring for the people. And yeah, that was the crucial moment in my kind of career, if you can even say that, back in 2007, because it was a long time ago. But since then, I took it really seriously. I was like, that's exactly what I'm doing with my life. That's exactly when I want to produce something as great as that. Obviously, in a way lower level because I didn't have any technique, but time goes by and you learn a lot of things, and you coming up with records that people love, and people maybe feel the same way about that. So if they feel the same way, it means like you definitely achieve something in your life.
There you go, kids. Practice makes perfect. Here's another good fan question. And again, fans, any questions, tweet them out, hashtag ATI Live. We know you're into video games. Who's your favorite character in League of Legends?
Oh man, League of Legends. I wish I could have more time for this game. But yeah, I would play good question. I think Wayne, the AD carry, is the most challenging champion. It's like just impossible to be good at that. But like the moments of shine when you like accidentally getting really good at this characters like for the one game, and you start to kill. It's like, man, this is so amazing. It's just like it's really a hypey champion. Like when you're doing well on this champion, I just like get so many good feelings about that.
That's cool. That's cool right there. I think this is a British fan right here. Are you planning on doing any more UK festivals again, or shows in the UK or Europe coming up?
Not this summer. Not this summer. We'll kind of take our time because I'm releasing so much music right now. I've been working on since I finished my album, like the last half a year, I would say was the most productive time for me because I came up with so much music, and I kind of trying to keep it going and take it like easy for most of the shows. And I think I'll get back to UK really soon, but not this summer.
Okay, all right, I see. And what other challenges do you encounter during your live sets or when you're on tour?
Well, not that many. Just make sure. I mean, you feel healthy. Just you keep making the music, and like you're doing the good shows, not getting yourself overexhausted, and enjoy your life. Like definitely, the thing that I would say to like most of the people, enjoy every moment of your life because this is really important. You never know what's gonna happen, and like you never know how your life is gonna turn out like next day. So make sure like every night, every show that I'm playing, I make sure for myself this is like I'm raging like the last time.
All right, cool. And I guess we'll close it off with this. Who would be your dream collaborations, like super huge mega artist you would want to work with?
Still Chris Martin. I mean, it didn't really change in last couple of years. I've been a huge fan of him, but I think it's more to the list right now. I'm really big Ryan Tedder fan. I think his songwriting is just really amazing, and all the songs that One Republic come in with are just like mind blowing, and I really appreciate and admire his talent. So yeah, Chris Martin, Ryan Tedder, and also man, The Weeknd is like his album was like just amazing. Abel is like one of those guys that I would love to, I would love to see what I could come up with. Like what would be the mix between that kind of music and just see how it goes, because he has such amazing voice. I mean, it's not necessary would be like R&B, or it would be pop music, or it would be hip hop or whatsoever, because I mean the track that they did with Disclosure is pretty amazing, and it has nothing to do with that kind of music, right? So it's always interesting to see like where like collaboration with artists from the folk world will take you in terms of production, what you can do with that. It's like what would be like exciting direction for, you know, to put both of you and take it like to some, you know, cool level, like bit more underground, but still like making like super cool and like super catchy, I think.
There we go. There we go. Awesome. We have it. The Weekend, if you're out there watching, it's got a collab going between you and Arty. We're going to wrap up the Aspire to Inspire live broadcast for this week. Arty, thank you so much for taking the time out to visit with us, chat with us. Any final words or messages for the fans before we sign off?
Yeah, I mean, if anyone is around tomorrow in LA, I'm playing Crate nightclub, which is 3 years anniversary for Crate, so that's going to be a really good show. And if you're in the city, please join us. And the same thing I want to say to my East Coast fans, because on June 11th, I'm playing in Webster Hall in New York. And I'm pretty excited because like that's my, you know, 2 favorite cities to play. So it's going to be such a good time and making so much good like edits and like I'm finishing. I'm actually ripping up the new track right now for just those particular shows. So I'm getting like really overwhelmed right now. Feel good about that.
There you have it. LA and New York fans, make your way out this the next couple days to see Arty performing at a club near you. Again, thank you so much, Arty, for joining us. We will be back here on Aspire to Inspire Live on June 22nd with Cedric Gervais. I'm guessing a lot of people are going to be out there at EDC next coming weekend too. Hopefully I'll see you guys all out there. Be safe, have fun, and thanks for tuning in and watching Aspire to Inspire Live. Peace.
Cheers.